Thank you, Dave. 5 degrees at 7:32. Good morning, everyone. A lot of people in our city probably double-checking this morning the name of the place they used to get a tattoo. Alberta Health Services shutting down a Calgary tattoo parlor because of improper cleaning techniques. Pharaohs Tattooing, a home-based parlor, is now closed because staff were not sterilizing equipment properly. People who receive tattoos from Pharaohs may have been exposed to another person's blood, which means people may have come into contact with things like hepatitis B, hepatitis C, even HIV.
This was an unapproved tattooing facility. It was actually in a home, and there's various things that weren't in place that need to be in place to ensure sanitary procedures when tattooing is being done.
If you did get a tattoo from Pharaohs, you should call the Alberta HealthLink hotline and set up a confidential testing appointment. There are still a lot of questions this morning as to exactly why 2 Liberal MPs are being suspended from caucus. Both MPs say they've done nothing wrong, and both want the Speaker of the House in Ottawa now to quickly establish exactly what happens next. Liberal leader Justin Trudeau is booting Scott Andrews and Massimo Pichetti out of caucus, and Trudeau says they cannot run as Liberals in the next election until an investigation is complete. Trudeau is short on details, only saying both MPs face accusations of serious personal misconduct. We do know the conduct is connected to 2 female members of the NDP. Andrews is an MP from Newfoundland and Labrador. Pichetti is from Quebec.
I am aware of how difficult it is for people to come forward. I believe strongly that those of us in positions of authority have a duty to act upon allegations of this nature.
NDP leader Tom Mulcair is not saying much either exactly about what happened. The Calgary Fire Department using this week to remind all of us to routinely check gas appliances at home. This is carbon monoxide week. Firefighters, along with experts at ATCO Gas, say it's vital to check things like stoves, fireplaces, and furnaces, because if they're not working properly, they could be producing deadly carbon monoxide. Firefighters are also using this week to remind everyone to make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector on every floor of your home.
Because carbon monoxide is odorless, colorless, tasteless, and non-irritating, you don't know it's in your home. And the only way you will know is with a carbon monoxide alarm installed in your home that will detect that and let you know that you have an issue.
Firefighters also say it's best to check your CO detectors once a month and to keep an eye on the expiry dates, because most detectors only last 5 to 10 years. 7:35, time to focus on business. The price of oil dominating business news again today. Business editor Mike Epple joining us now. Mike, U.S. oil producers are now talking pretty tough against Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, some of the producers out of North Dakota, which have really been front and center for global oil production, specifically out of the U.S., obviously. Ted, over the course of this year, U.S. oil output is on pace for its best level in about 4 decades. But, you know, what's Saudi Arabia been doing lately? They've been cutting prices coming back to the U.S. market, and maybe that's an effort to force out some of the higher cost producers. Well, some of those in North Dakota are saying, yeah, watch us, we're going to keep producing. And they're trying to push back a little bit about this potential price war. Interesting notes just coming in, though, from OPEC this morning. They've actually lowered the demand forecast for their oil by 2017 by 14%. They see daily production dropping over the course of the next couple of years, and they're basically extending that for several years after that. So all of this is moving the oil market. Price for crude back down over $1 a barrel now, around 77 and change. Rallied yesterday. That was enough to get the TSX higher then. This morning, it's all about earnings. We have numbers in from Canadian Tire, which announced a hike to its dividend. The stock, which has been a stellar performer this year, is up another couple of dollars right off the bat this morning. Canadian Tire's earnings up. Sales at all of its divisions were higher. Also results in from Air Canada. That's a high flyer. Pardon the pun, right off the bat this morning, because its earnings were pretty good on its 3rd quarter, which is typically its most profitable of the year, and they're maneuvering some of their bigger aircraft to take advantage of higher profitable international routes. So the 777s, they're buying a couple more of those, and they'll use that on overseas flights, and the 767s are going to be put back into the Rouge division of Air Canada. BCE, TELUS, Quebecor, all reporting earnings, and most of them above forecast. And SNC Lavalin announcing a restructuring, 4,000 job cuts, 1,000 here in Canada. Canada. And Tesla Automotive seeing its stock price zoom higher this morning. The electric car company saying it's got a problem most companies would love. Can't keep up with demand. They're forecasting 50,000 electric cars to be built next year, and they're looking to grow 50% on the next several years. So Elon Musk and Tesla are looking at some very strong growth forecasts over the next number of years. And that's even with the price for oil down. People still interested in buying electric cars, and they're expensive too.
There you go. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Mike. Business editor
Thanks,
Mike
Doug.
Apple this morning. You can hear Mike on 660 News in Calgary at 26 and 56 after the hour.